Trine 4, a game with nothing new.
Hello everyone, this is Sushi with another review. Today we are with you. What's up YouTube? And this time we're going to review Trine 4, this ridiculous game. Now it seems this game has some improvements, the skill tree, the upgrade system, but if you played the previous Trines, you would discover that this Trine honestly delivered nothing new to the stake. Now the fighting system isn't so new, you know. In the first Trine we fought the skeletons and things like that. Now that I did, I played the first Trine when I was a kid. Now the experience was ridiculous. I really enjoyed it. It was absolutely amazing. And back then the Trine suddenly got popular and everything was good about it. And I thought to myself that wow, this Trine is amazing and I'm really enjoying it, and it was a blast. But throughout the years, the other Trines came out. The second one I played a little, I had to skip it, it had nothing new. And the third, and now the fourth, I played the Trine 4th, and this is in truth interesting, much better than the previous ones. Now one of the things that the game delivered was the colors and the lighting, the colors and everything. As you can see in this footage, the gameplay is not so different, yes, but the graphic and lighting and everything else has much improvements. But still, it doesn't feel like a new game. It doesn't feel like this game has something new, and that I don't like much. Again, as I mentioned before, my childhood memory from Trine was amazing. It was something else, something of its own, and for that even vague good memory, I always admired Trine. But I had to skip two Trines to get to this one, and still, after skipping two Trines, I'm still not finding anything new. I'm not impressed with the progress. One of the things is the guy, as you can see here, jumps 2 times his own height. I mean, how is that possible? I don't know, maybe he's a wizard or something. Some of these things are unrealistic. He jumps really tall. It's like a hopping magician, it's weird. But one of the things that really walks on your nerve is always there is the dialogues and the unrealistic dialogues, and kind of like it feels like lazy writing in this game. A prince runs off and we must find him and everything, so that's not so interesting. But one of the interesting things is the puzzles. Sometimes the puzzles got a bit more complex than the previous one. I mean, the first one was savage. For that, it's kind of interesting. So that I give to the Trine 4. It's a bit better. My first experience playing it, maybe not a kid, maybe teenager, but whatever. Then, my expectations from games were high. I was blown away. I was fucking amazed. By the way, I use the word fucking because I decided not to swear, because YouTube doesn't want us to make family unfriendly content. So I say it, instead of saying, for example, fucking, I say fucking or fuck, or instead of asshole, I'm going to say ashhole. So what ashhole means doesn't mean anything. So yeah, anyhow, my amazing experience from first Trine was fucking amazing. But a good experience, it keeps on happening. Okay, but it gets boring, right? I've seen it with Worms too, with Team 17. Again, the same problem. How many Worms they published? I don't know, by now I think 20. We have so many Worms versions, and we have Worms Mayhem, we have Worms Mayhem 2D, we have Worms 3D, we have God knows how many Worms. And some of it, up to Mayhem, it seemed like it made some progress, but the fans and the audience claim that it's one of the worst Worms Mayhem. I doubt it. But anyhow, the Worms Medieval, I think there was one of the Worms. medieval, or like, I don't know, castles and worms would get connected to buildings. No, that game with Team 17's worms, it made lots of progress. But again, Team 17 learned that instead of delivering something new for the sake of money, it's just much better, much efficient for them to just recreate old games and try to not deliver something new to the stake. Now, that's something I don't appreciate, but I don't know, maybe sometimes, you know, when it comes to sales and things like that, an old game recreating, and when it comes to marketing, fans prefer that. Not all fans, but old fans. So we've seen it with Crusaders, with, what was the company's name? I forgot the company's name. It wasn't Telltale, it was Finn something. I forgot the company's name. Anyhow, we've seen it with that company. We've seen a lot of companies. You know, the game studios come to realization that instead of delivering something new to the stake, they better just recreate the old, the old franchise and just improve the graphic, just that, and nothing else. Honestly, nothing else. But Trine here, you know, it didn't even attempt to take that leap and deliver something new. It was always this old, it's just old train, nothing new. For that, I don't like it a lot. It doesn't make me want to, you know, touch it, but somehow it makes sense, you know, logically speaking here. You know, what the Trine should be, like a 3D open world explorer. Obviously not that. And obviously I can't keep talking negative about a game that has some improvements like this, as you can see in the footage. But again, as you can see, some things is still off about this game, and like, at least maybe it's my expectation, because, you know, comparing it to the Trine 1, to the first Trine, I don't see much improvement. Now, picking on the story is not exactly the brightest thing to do, because the game is too simple, too small. Honestly, it is. To manage to cover a huge long story with backgrounds and everything. So it had to be quick, it had to be swift. Now the publishers are Frozen Byte. The publishers of Modus Games, obviously developers of Frozen Byte, and this is not a huge company, people. We have to keep that in mind. They don't have a lot of works. They didn't publish lots of games. Only a handful of games, and few of them were successful, like Trine, and we'll have to give them that. We have to give them a pat on the back and hope them the greatest. And the average score, when the score was the highest, not the fluid scores, the scores of the top companies, the known ones like PC Gamer, like IGN, like Eurogamer, the score, like Nintendo Life, the score of these companies, an average of them will count as 7.8.
You must be the prince we're looking for. Good thing too. I was afraid you'd been eaten by wolves.
What do you want with me?
We're taking you to the safety of the Astral Academy.
What? I'm not going back there.
You think we'd leave you alone in the middle of nowhere here?
Look, I don't care if you're a prince or a pig keeper. You're coming with us.
I'm not a child to be told what to do.
.8 is still too high, I think, but that's a score and I mentioned it. But my score about this game will be somewhere around 12.5. Now, it's something between not that bad and a little overrated at some points. So that's my score, 12.5. And with that, good luck and good night, YouTube. Thank you for listening. Good luck and good night, YouTube. And if you like this honest review, recommend this channel to your friends who are starting up. And with that, there's nothing else left to say. Goodbye and good luck. Wish you greatest of things. Out.
Prince ran off.
Then we must follow him.
I say we knock him unconscious and carry him back to the Astral Academy.